Hello, everybody. We have a powerful full moon coming up on November 8th at 6:02 a.m. East Coast time in the US, 11:02 a.m. London time, at 16 degrees of Taurus. And because the moon and the sun are opposite, it's Taurus-Scorpio. But before I get started, I really just want to do a very brief announcement. I'm excited to say that I'm holding a massive sale until November 13th. You can get a 40% discount on all of my readings. And this is a really unique opportunity. I've never discounted anything this deep before. I don't think anyways. So this might never happen again. So take advantage of it while you can, while it lasts. And yeah, you can just go to my website and click any of my readings, whichever one resonates most with you, and use coupon code FALL2022 at checkout. Okay, so it's our fall sale. All right, that's it. Now, let's talk about this powerful full moon. This powerful full moon is also a lunar eclipse. And as some of you already know, every 6 months, the sun, moon, and earth align precisely enough for a solar and lunar eclipse to occur. And during a lunar eclipse, the full moon slowly starts to dim and blacken as it passes through the earth's shadow. And so that stimulates the emotional body, and especially shadow material in connection with the emotional body. And it increases our awareness of unconscious patterns and fears. So this powerful full moon is a total lunar eclipse that is visible across Asia, Australia, America, North America, and the Pacific. So the duration of this lunar eclipse will be 85 minutes, which is almost an hour and a half. So we will feel the influence of this lunar eclipse for approximately 43 days. Now, this total lunar eclipse will also fall on the upcoming election day here in the United States. And I looked this up. This is the first election day that has a total lunar eclipse in US history, in all of our history. And so this is pretty unique that we're having an election happening on the day of the eclipse. And this won't happen again until November 8th, 2394. So that's almost another 370 years from now, right? So quite a while. So anyways, we shall see what unfolds. Obviously, with an eclipse, it's a little bit unpredictable. Now, this particular lunar eclipse is the second of 2 eclipses within the last 2 weeks, and it offers an opportunity to value ourselves, each other, and our planet. Now, there is an emphasis with this eclipse on creating a healthy sense of self-worth and having a healthy relationship with the physical world, because we're talking about Taurus here, right? And what's the best way to accomplish that? Well, because it's an opposition between the sun and the moon, we need to take a look at the Scorpio side of things as well, so we can accomplish the Taurus side of things. And so in order to have better self-worth and healthier relationship with the physical world, we first have to face our fears. We have to heal old trauma and own our own power. So that also means we are releasing, in a sense, we're releasing what's been holding us back, individually and collectively speaking, from having these better relationships with the physical world. As you might already know from the solar eclipse video, if you watched it, eclipses are always powerfully connected to the moon nodes. And so that means they're also connected to our soul's journey, both collectively and individually speaking. And all eclipses transmit new energetic codes and transformative downloads. And this happens, all of eclipse season. So these downloads or these energetic codes that we're receiving are usually connected to the eclipse energy, whatever the eclipse energy is. So in this case, the moon is in steady, peaceful Taurus, and the sun is in passionate, all or nothing Scorpio. And the more receptive we are to these transformative downloads connected to this polarity in Taurus-Scorpio, the more quickly and easily we can integrate them. Time in nature or meditation, art, spiritual endeavors, all of that supports this integration process and helps us better attune to these evolutionary upgrades. A lot of rest is really important too during eclipse season. And so this lunar eclipse really highlights relationships of all kinds, just like a full moon. But with this particular full moon, because it's a lunar eclipse as well, there is a heightened emphasis on self-value and intimate relationships. Taurus-Scorpio. Now, the full moon also illuminates the truth and the consequences of our choices. And that leads back to, what we've already been through this whole year, because we've already been dealing with this polarity in form of the moon nodes and the eclipses all year long already. So whatever we've been experiencing around letting go of the past or past trauma or stepping more into our self-value, we will see the truth and the consequences of these choices that we've been making all year long. Now, we become aware of what has been suppressed or ignored during a full moon or an eclipse. And this being a North Node lunar eclipse, what we really need to explore and embrace and integrate is connected to the Taurus energy. Now, it's been 19 years since we experienced a lunar eclipse in this exact degree of Taurus. They usually happen about every 18 or 19 years. And so think back to November 9th, 2003. What did I need to integrate back then in connection with the physical world? What became clearer at that time around exploring my talents, about my self-worth? Was I able to see my value, or did I learn something about that? What about my relationship with money? What did that look like 19 years ago? And what about my physical reality, my body, my ability to receive pleasure, to experience peace in the physical world? Where do I need to take this to the next level now? And if you're too young to remember what happened 19 years ago, feel free to take a look at, how your parents dealt with any of these questions. Now, we also addressed this upcoming lunar eclipse in our next forecasting forum on November 12th. So please feel free to join us if you'd like to know how this powerful full moon will impact you personally. We will also address Jupiter's station direct phase in Pisces, which is connected to that retrograde phase that we've been in since July 28th. So basically, we're going to investigate what have we learned since July 28th in connection with our perspectives, and what new perspectives are we ready to bring to the world? And where is that taking place in our own charts, right? So we'll always take a look at our own charts with these forums. So it's an opportunity to have more clarity, what's going on with you personally. Now, there's currently an early bird special that's available until November 8th. So feel free to take advantage of that, unless you're already a star member. Because obviously, if you're a star member, you're automatically registered. So if you're a universal member or not a member, then you can still join us, but you would have to register. Now, that's it for announcements and logistics. Back to the lunar eclipse. Many planets are involved in this powerful full moon lunar eclipse chart. The first thing I want to mention is there will be an important T-square with Saturn as the focus point in Aquarius and the empty leg being Leo, the opposite side of where Saturn is. Now, the moon conjuncts Uranus in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus, which is Venus, is still conjunct the Sun and Mercury in Scorpio. So in the opposite sign, what it rules, it's currently in. And the ruler of Scorpio, which is Pluto, the modern ruler of Scorpio, Pluto is still in Capricorn, making a sextile to Neptune and now also Jupiter, because Jupiter has moved back into Pisces and is now joining again with Neptune. Not an exact conjunction, but it's close. And then Mars, which is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, is now retrograde in Gemini, still exalted until November 13th, creating a lasting square with Neptune because of that retrograde phase. It's a very long-lasting square. And now also with Jupiter, because Jupiter has now joined Neptune in Pisces. Now, the good news is we also have a trine, which is a harmonious aspect between Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, and Neptune. But all of the specifics in regards to what all of this means in a moment. Let's just first talk a little bit more about the eclipse. Now, this full moon is the third lunar eclipse in the Taurus-Scorpio polarity, which is connected to those moon nodes in Taurus-Scorpio, which is a process which will continue to unfold until July 17th, 2023. So summer next year. And the first lunar eclipse in that same polarity took place last year in November of 2021 at 27 Taurus-Scorpio. And then we also had a lunar eclipse in that polarity on May 16th of this year at 25 degrees of Scorpio-Taurus. And so what we can do with this eclipse, since it's in that same polarity again, we can check to see how far have we come since November of last year when facing our fears and valuing ourselves and our authentic relationships with others. So you can ask yourself here, what fears or inauthentic or even toxic relationships must I still release or transform if I am to step into greater abundance and happiness in my life? And that's a really powerful question in connection with that polarity. So feel free to journal on this or meditate on this or keep coming back to that question via the Lunar Eclipse article. Keep revisiting this question over the next 43 days. So for the next 43 days, we seek the balance and integration of those two polarities between Taurus and Scorpio. And we are aware that something needs to be brought back into alignment. So the balance in question is between recognizing our deepest emotional desires or fears and most authentic motivations that we have. What motivates me in life to do something, to take action, or to connect with people or not connect with people. That's Scorpio motivations. And because they're always emotionally based, and Scorpio is a water sign which is based in emotion. And our relationship to our physical body and our talents, how worthy we feel, and what we value on a physical plane, and the planet that we live on right now. And that's Taurus, right? So Taurus is all concerned about the physical reality. Scorpio is more concerned with emotional connections, desires, fears, motivations. Now, you can ask yourself with this lunar eclipse, what do I truly value? And what deserves my attention, appreciation, and care? And which of my values stems from social conditioning? And which of them needs to change? Because sometimes we're not even aware, right, how much of the values that we have are actually just stuff that we took on from childhood, from conditioning, from our parents, from our caregivers, from authority figures, from our society that we grew up in. So we want to be more conscious of what is mine, what's really authentic here, Now, for more details about the Taurus-Scorpio polarity and its shadow sides, because remember, a full moon always deals with the shadow, the denser vibration of a polarity as well. So for more details on all of that, please read the Lunar Eclipse article on the blog page. Now, if you have any questions about the monthly forecasting forums, my soul-based astrology courses, membership functions, the readings that I'm offering at a discount right now, astrology in general, please do not hesitate to reach out at info@astrologercoach.com. Any personal questions, please ask them during the upcoming monthly forecasting forum on November 12th, or you can book a one-on-one reading with Leah or myself via my website for personal questions as well. That's not a problem. And please keep in mind that I'm offering a 40% discount on all of my readings until November 13th only. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic lunar eclipse. Stay grounded in your body and flexible with your mind and heart. I'll see you again soon.